Hello, my name is Donald Ganley. I'd like to take some time to discuss an internship I participated in this semester as a grant writing intern with the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. So, just a general overview of the organization that I interned with is the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield as a part of the Boys and Girls Club of America. It's located in Westfield, Massachusetts, and my two supervisors were Jesse Buckman and Carissa Lee St. Pierre, who also happened to be alumni of Westfield State University. So my experience as an intern aligned very well with my original provisions of the contract. So originally my goals were to gain an understanding of the grant writing process, assist in researching potential funding, research, identify, and initiate contact with prospective individual donors, and as well as assist in writing and editing highly quality grant proposals. As I look back on my time as an intern, I can definitely say that these goals have been accomplished. I spent time learning the language in grant writing, spent time researching for grants, conducting research, and actually participating in developing grants. And here on the right, I provided a little bit of a insight into one project I worked on. This was developing a fundraising webpage for the Boys and Girls Club regarding a expansion that they worked on to their building. They added in a 48,000 square foot addition to their building, so they wanted me to kind of advertise a little bit. This is actually on the Boys and Girls Club website currently. Here's another excerpt from a project that I worked on. This is from a needs statement. So this was the very beginning of a grant that I worked on. This grant was designed to get funding for the Boys and Girls Club summer program. And so what they wanted me to focus on was the importance of a summer program in terms of youth development. I actually touched on the fact that over the summer months, youth lose the routine of going to school, and for some, they lose the access to healthy foods as well, and as well as time with their classmates, with their peers. So I just tried to touch on how important the summer program is and why it needs funding. Another aspect of my internship was grant prospecting. So using a program called GuideStar, I was able to search for potential funding sources. I refined the search criteria to focus on funders that have a history of donating to nonprofits in Massachusetts. And I also searched through these funders' history to determine whether it was worth submitting an application for them so that we didn't waste our time just submitting applications to places that likely wouldn't fund. So my supervisor provided me with a login to a program called Grant Station. And this program just had a bunch of tutorial videos, exercises, and examples of different types of grants. This helped me get familiar with what I'd be working on. I spent my first couple of weeks kind of just getting a crash course in grant writing. My internship supervisor would meet with me twice a week via Zoom. We would speak about what I had been working on, and he would always provide me positive feedback or anything I needed to work on. I would say I'm very satisfied with the variety and nature of my experiences. Every 2 weeks, I would get assigned something differently. Everything, it's not like I was working on one thing the whole time. I was always provided with different projects, different things to work on. And I would say that the most gratifying experience through my internship was being told that a grant that I worked on was approved and the Boys and Girls Club was granted $8,000 towards their summer program. In terms of a least valuable experience, it was really hard for me to even think of anything that was invaluable. The only aspect I could say that was a little bit tedious was the research aspect, as I spoke about before, in searching for potential funders. This was only tedious because it was difficult to find funders that focused on Western Massachusetts, as a majority of funders mainly focus on the Eastern Mass and Boston area. I definitely feel like I'm in a better position now to find a job that interests me. I'm a criminal justice major, so an English internship was a little bit different for me, but I'm not exactly sure what I'd like to do with my degree. I was mainly focused on just making myself a more well-rounded candidate for future jobs. Through this internship, I was able to gain much more confidence in my writing and communication skills, which I feel will help me find a job in the long run. I'm definitely glad that I took this internship. The skills that I acquired will help me in my career always. When I applied for this position, I was just trying to find something that would give me some extra skills to make myself a better candidate for jobs. Now I can say that I have a vast knowledge of a subject that I didn't know much about before. I can conduct research and write narratives with confidence. I absolutely recommend that this program be retained as internship option for Westfield State students. As I said before, my two internships or supervisors are Westfield State alumni. My main supervisor was in my exact position just 12 months ago, and he was hired following his internship. I definitely recommend this for future students for a variety of reasons. It gives you some real world hands on experience beyond just being in a classroom. I actually got to work on real grants that were submitted and were approved to give the Boys and Girls Club funding. As I said before, I was given a variety of tasks. None were too heavy, but neither were they too light, so I wasn't overwhelmed, but nor was I bored. And as I also said before, fantastic supervisor and colleagues. They were always willing to help me, gave me their cell phone numbers so I could text them questions at any time. I will not be seeking another internship, mainly just because I am set to graduate in just a couple of weeks. I've completed a couple other internships in the past, both more aligning with my criminal justice background. This internship was very valuable, and I would definitely recommend to other students to participate in it. And wrapping things up, like I said before, the skills I learned during my internship will help me as I move forward in any job that I pursue. I learned how to write more analytically when in the past I had mostly only written in prose. I learned how nonprofit organizations operate, and I was able to make some great connections. Overall, I couldn't be happier with my internship experience and the nature of projects that I was able to work on, and I'm so grateful that I've been able to participate in it. A special thank you to Professor Files and Professor Lang for helping me find this opportunity and allowing me to participate in it. Thank you.